This is the level that we know.
Hey guys, Infiniti here, and this clearly isn't going to be a CSGO video, and I hope you like my background. It's pretty impressive. I quite like this background. I don't know what order it's meant to be in, because I thought it could be main characters, but then I realised that I can't even remember a name now. He's in front of Jess, and Jess is clearly a more main character, and he's a more main character than Gus. But then they're quite main characters, probably equal with, and I was just totally confused, and I don't understand what order it's meant to be in. But I get this link, because he got shot. I'm not going to spoil it. But this is going to be about this program here, as you can probably tell by the title now. I have never done something like... Actually, I have, but I got a copyright strike for it, so it probably isn't the best idea to go again. But this is more of a review, actually, than trying to get it illegally. So, yeah. But it says malware bytes, and malware is something that you do not want on your computer. It's bad to have on your computer. And it really just screw you over. It reduces your FPS in games. It'll just randomly turn off your computer. Some programs won't work. And a main one of that is something called My Search Style. I've just opened up Elgato by accident, which will be bad. Now, My Search Style is a very, very common thing, and it's very hard to get rid of. And it's actually very useful. Like, it isn't meant to be bad. And I like My Search Style. It's a nice program, but it's also very, very bad for malware. It definitely improves your browsing experience, but it also makes it a lot worse. And the only way I've ever found to improve this or get rid of it is with malware bytes, anti-malware. Now, I will leave a link in the description to it. It's only a 1 month trial, but through that 1 month, I can guarantee you will never get a virus. Absolutely guarantee it. Now, one thing I have found with this is as soon as you click minimize, it actually completely closes it down. But you will never get a virus within that 1 month of having it. And to be honest, it's definitely worth buying it. Or finding another way around, which I'm not going to say, because the last time I got a copyright strike for it. Now, it is definitely worth it. I'll do a quick scan now. Yeah, hyper scan. Now, the first time you use this, I did it on my sister's laptop the other day. Had 700 and something different malware things, and half of them were... Well, she originally downloaded My Search Style completely on accident. She was attempting to download other things. So then she downloaded ad blockers, because that's what My Search Style does. It brings up a lot of adverts. And half of them ad blockers were counterfeit ad blockers, which just gave you more ads. So there was about 700 and something different programs. And this took probably 2 or 3 hours to scan her computer and got rid of all 700 and whatever it was. I can't remember what it was. But this program is absolutely amazing. If your computer's running slower, it will improve it'll improve it even just the slightest to removing partially unwanted programs. And if you go onto sites where like you can get films illegally and things like that, and you get the little pop-ups, it will block them, completely block the pop-ups. It won't stop them from coming up, but the ones which can be possibly dangerous. So if you go onto a site where you do things like that, and things like fake bet365 bingo pops up, it will completely block it. It will just say malware bytes has blocked this website, and you'll get a little pop-up down here. And I just want to show you how you do it. I've never actually done a hyper scan. I've only ever done the full scan. So I just want to show you how you get rid of the deleted detected objects. And before, well, okay, I'll tell you guys what I do when I turn on my computer. I'm just going to run through exactly what I do. And there could possibly a couple of videos just linked into one video here, so wait until it's finished. This is usually the first thing I'll do. I'll turn on my computer. I'll instantly do this, just in case of any of this. Right, okay, it picked up one thing, which is it's just my preferences in Google Chrome, which isn't that bad, but it's just picking up the fact if someone wanted to dox me, this could be some information that they could get. But you just click quarantine all, and then apply actions. Now, as you can see, history here, it'll come up with some stuff, and these aren't really that bad, but if you just select them or click delete all, and you can delete every single one of them, it will completely get rid of them. And this is like, what you need to do is threat scan, custom scan, or do any one of them. I'd suggest doing a threat scan when you first download it, and I will leave a link in the description. But that is the first thing I do when I turn on my computer, just to boost a little bit more up. Now, another thing I have on my computer is a very good program, and it's called Advanced System Care 7. Now, I don't know whether I'll be able to remember where I can put this in the description, so you might have to look around for it a little bit. But I come on, and this is normally turned off. Turbo boost is normally turned off. So I'll come on, and I will scan it. I'm not going to scan it now because it takes a very long time. But I will scan it, just in case that pulls anything else to get rid of any of these. I will also... No, I won't do that. I will turn on Turbo Boost, which just basically... It just releases some more of your RAM. So I had 211 megabytes of RAM release, which isn't a lot, but it was a little bit of RAM release. So, you know, I suppose that's a bit more than nothing. Now, when I first did that, it released like 6 gig of RAM, so it did quite a good job. And actually, when you download this, you get a little pop-up in the top corner. I don't know if I'll be able to find it. No, I don't think I can. You'll get a little pop-up in the top corner, and you can just click Clean RAM, and it just basically cleans out your RAM for you, so any unneeded items you won't actually have anymore. Now, the next thing I do is come down here to the little Start menu and click Run. Now, I click Prefetch, put Prefetch in there, and nothing in here is needed. These are just basically background processors and things like, so when I opened up CSGO, it will then leave some files in here which you just don't need anymore, and none of these you actually need. So you just click Control A at the same time and organize and delete, and if there's any in there that it needs, it will say we cannot delete this item, so don't worry about that. And then again, you come down here to Run, and then you go down to and then you put percentage temp, so TEMP, percentage sign again, and then okay, I'll put 5 rather than percentage sign, but again, so no, that's clone up percentage sign, so percentage temp percentage, enter, and then click Control A in this again and click delete, yes, and it'll come up with 2 or 3 things in here. So obviously I can't delete my recording that I'm using at the moment, but these 2 you'll never be able to delete. Or I think there's normally just 1 actually. I think it's just normally that you can't delete, which is just bugs that it sends off to Windows, and obviously you can't delete that folder. And then all you have to do is come into Recycle Bin and click Control A, and this will free up quite a bit of RAM and CPU power on your computer, which will speed it up. Even if it's not the biggest amount, it will speed it up a tiny little bit, which can help quite a bit. There's another program called Unpark CPU, which you only have to use once, but I've just kept it, and it'll come up like this, and it'll come up with these 3 different things. Once you click, so you got to click check status, or yeah, whatever you want to call it, and it'll come up with these 3 things. And unless you've done it before, they'll all say parked. Now, I don't know what parking it is and anything about that, but all I know is that it will increase your frame rate, maybe 5 to 10 frames, which doesn't seem that much, by unparking them all. So I definitely suggest unparking them by just clicking unpark all. That's pretty much it. Take a few seconds and you can just close it straight back down. Now, the last thing I'll do, now this only really applies to people that do YouTube like me or that keep their videos. I will come into my videos, and that is a screwed up folder which I need to do some command prompt on to stop it from being screwed up so much. And because yeah, it's an empty folder, but I can't actually delete it. Well, I'll show you guys. I can't actually delete it, so I need to take it to the dashboard and use command prompt to delete it. Guess it doesn't let you delete it, which is annoying. Now this is like my Blue Snowball review, which I haven't uploaded yet, my Photoshop of how I make my thumbnails, which I haven't uploaded yet, my Elgato review, which kind of needs to be got rid of now, and my Orb Analog Stick extenders. So say we don't need this anymore, which I don't need anymore, to be honest. So I'm going to delete it, and I'll then go into Video Raw, which is where all of my videos go before I actually record them. And I just recorded these few just to give them an example, and again I will delete them. I'll also go into this to see if Elgato has got any stored up, and then again go to your recycle bin, click Control A and empty the recycle bin. Now all of that, it might not, now if you record like me, and before I used to delete all my video raws, I had probably about 500 gigabytes of videos taking up space. Now if that was on an SSD, that would reduce your speed massively. Now on a hard drive, I don't know that it reduces your speed as much as it would do on an SSD. Now, I do know the difference between an SSD before some of you guys like go throwing stuff at me and just be like, you don't know the difference, you don't understand what an SSD is. I do, and I'm pretty sure it affects the SSD more than the hard drive, but I'm not sure. I know a hard drive's slower overall, so don't like go throwing that at me. But I'm just going to say I'm pretty sure it affects an SSD more. So definitely clear out your hard drive of things that you don't need. Now the next thing I do, this is always what I do before I actually go onto a game or before I start on my computer. I'll come in here and make sure there's nothing different. Now you're probably just like, how on earth can you tell anything in here? I've done this so many times, I can pretty much just tell if there's anything in here which seems different or weird. And with looking at this, I know everything in here is what I need, and I don't see anything different. Because when I did this on my sister's laptop, again, it's Windows 7, so there's pretty much everything other than things like Vegas and Elgato stuff and stuff like that, and things like that, should I say, and Reflector and things like that. And I came down here and saw my search line, and I was like, yep, that's your problem. Could instantly tell. Now, another thing I do, now this is what I do before I'm about to load up a game. Now, I believe Game Assistant comes with Advanced System Care 7, and before I load up a game, I will literally just use this to open it up, and it basically just prioritizes the game as number 1. So, as you can see, my memory used at the moment is 16%, so 16% of my RAM is being used, which is actually quite a lot, to be fair, to say I've got 12 gigabytes of it, and then I've got 4 plugged in, so to say I've got 16 gigabytes of RAM, to be using 16%, that's a gigabyte of RAM being used on just recording this, which is actually quite a lot. But again, I'll just use this to boost it up, and it'll just prioritize your CPU, it'll prioritize your RAM, just to use that and to be the most effective it can. It will also turn off things like automatic system updates. You'll get a little message down here, and as soon as you finish your game, just come down here and turn on automatic system updates, because they are very needed. But guys, I just thought I'd give a bit of a different video, and I do kind of want to know, because I know my CSGO videos, I'm not the best at the game, so it might not be as fun to watch just someone bad make fun of themselves in a game. So if you guys have any ideas of what I could do in CSGO to make it a bit more interesting for you guys, just leave it in the comments, and I hope you enjoyed this video. This takes usually, if you do a full scan and everything like that, it usually take about 10-15 minutes, but I'll come down in the morning, especially in the holidays, I'll come down in the morning, turn on my computer, I'll then go make a coffee, have my breakfast, and then come back through, and by the time that everything's done, it will kind of already be finished for you. So, you know, you don't really need to worry about it. But I hope this helps you guys, and if you've never actually done any of these things before, you will see a huge increase in FPS, you'll see a huge increase in system performance. So, yeah. But you guys, I hope you enjoyed watching. I'll see you later, and goodbye.
It's a board game, but I'm never